Hello and welcome to this week's Trader Talk TV episode. I'm pleased today to have with us Andy Mihalop, Head of Digital at one of the UK's leading and most progressive digital advertisers in the market. Andy, welcome.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks for coming in. We've got Andy in today really to talk us through and to map out the interesting stuff that you guys are trying to build around real-time technology and data systems. But before we kind of get into mapping some of that out, and you are comfortable mapping this out, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. It might be a little bit awkward for a session if you weren't. But let's talk around first of all in terms of your internal team and the biddable and programmatic team that you've assembled. I mean, how long? What does it look like? What's the structure? What's the remit, responsibilities, and?
Sure. So Money Supermarket evidently are focused on customer acquisition. Our business model essentially is built on being able to acquire customers more cost efficiently than our commercial partners.
Yep.
So we built a performance media team. That team has been built essentially from a base of paid search. But as we see bidder pool expand, particularly into programmatic buying, for example, into social media advertising, we've grown the team to be able essentially to work across additional channels and to leverage the skills that they have in biddable media. So we have a team that are channel focused. So for example, we've got a team that would work on insurance products, a team that would work on money products.
Oh, so category rather than actual kind of discipline.
Yes, so actually they're category focused and and essentially multi-skilled.
Yep.
So you would have a performance media manager, for example, on insurance that will be working across. He will be running RTB campaigns. He would also basically throughout the funnel, he'd also be running PPC, also looking at social media advertising, which could be Facebook, could also be Twitter.
It's kind of how Google structures as well, isn't it, in terms of those kind of vertical category leads, and yes, that provides more value to end commercial partners because you understand
Absolutely.
the in-depth nuts and bolts of that kind of category.
The key thing is that the guys are really deep, into the detail every day. They understand the dynamics of the channel,
yep.
Which makes them very effective as a team.
Yeah.
In addition to that, we have a media systems team. Obviously, I'm going to draw the stack in a moment, but it's really important as we invest in more technology platforms and we work with more technology vendors that we have a team that can support our technology and also the relationship.
Okay, so I mean, you briefly spoke about some of this at Aegis London this year, but I think now is a good opportunity to really map some of it out.
Sure.
Okay.
So, I guess the starting point and the big shift, really that's exciting for all of us is thinking about programmatic buying and obviously big data. And data really is the starting point for us because we have such rich data assets in terms particularly of first-party data, so customer data and behavioural data. So as a starting point, we look at essentially our kind of data sources. So this would be essentially our behavioural data.
So this is all the stuff online that's happening on MoneySupermarket.com and TravelSupermarket.com.
So essentially across the MoneySupermarket.com domain, but also across TravelSupermarket.com.
Okay.
Second data source would be our customer data, which essentially is our CRM database.
So customer records and
yes,
existing customers, yeah.
So that would give us, that would tell us, what customers have bought. For example, in terms of products, obviously there's a certain amount of information about demographics, for example.
Yeah.
In regard to location, age, gender, etc.
Okay.
So there are our major data sources. The key part in terms of our technology stack is our data management platform, and we work with Bluekai.
Okay.
So if you can imagine, both of these are connected to our data management platform.
And not going into those details, but how do you map the consumer records into a DMP, like using the email as an identifier?
Yes, yeah, so we've got essentially a single identifier that we can link all of this information together within the data management platform.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got our audiences in here. We've created our taxonomy and our segmentation.
So who runs some of that? Is it like is it all the teams and all the different categories that they're running, or is it like one guy who's head of audience planning insights? Or
yeah, so it's a good question, and it's a mix of essentially two groups. So head of media systems actually looks after the DMP and the relationship with Blue Collar, and then we've got a data team, an insights team that will also feed in. Essentially, particularly in terms of customer data, in terms of helping us create the taxonomy and the segmentation.
Cool. Okay.
So from there, obviously, the important thing is being able to actually activate.
Well, do something with it.
Exactly. Activate that segmentation and that really valuable data. So our DSP. And again, we work with MediaMath. We have a great relationship with MediaMath and the UK team. So again, we can take our segments into MediaMath, and then from MediaMath, obviously, out into ad exchanges, and also we work with Rubicon in terms of access to PMPs.
And so you kind of setting up some of your own private marketplaces as well for inventory access?
No, at this stage, I'll talk in a moment about how we're going to monetize our inventory, but none of that data is actually going into a PMP or indeed into an agency trading desk in any form.
Okay. So just for your own internal?
It's just for our own internal use and potentially for our customers, our commercial partners.
Okay.
So this really is designed, I guess, to drive our customer acquisition, but also to drive cross-sell. So, just to give you a view, on our display activity, if we consider a kind of typical purchase funnel, we're driving prospecting activity.
From the insights and audience insights that you're generating?
Yes. Yeah. And then, we would also look at lookalike modelling, so working obviously with third-party data sources. Then we're running various levels of retargeting, and we work today with Criteo in terms of dynamic creative retargeting.
Yep.
And again, that really is, our behavioural data that's driving that. And then interestingly, down here, we're actually looking at this data here, so our customer data, obviously via the data management platform, really driving the cross-sell opportunity. So if you can imagine, through propensity modelling, we could understand a group of customers that have bought motor insurance and have a really high propensity to buy home insurance. So we can create a segment and target that segment with a particular creative.
Is that like a data science team that's responsible for a lot of that modelling work and clustering? And I guess you can then start overlaying it by different geo-regions and so forth, and a number of granularity that you can also probably tap into for the behavioural stuff as well.
Absolutely. So the idea is to build out a high number of very rich but very targeted segments. And if you can imagine, with our data sciences team building out a lot of different propensity models, as soon as that model exists, we can immediately push that into MediaMath and then actually start targeting that particular audience segment when we know that either they have a high propensity or they're in market to buy a product.
Okay, so being a marketing function that you have, something around the usage of all this data that you're collecting and analysing, how else can you have you been experimenting around activating it beyond just from display advertising?
Sure.
Stuff on site potentially, or
so one interesting thing would be to look at our CRO program. so conversion rate optimization.
Yep.
So being able to use our segments to start being able to personalize content within the site. That's definitely one application. I think the second application of particularly of our data is being able to actually start offering exclusive access to particular audience segments to our commercial partners.
So, for clarity's sake, your commercial partners are the end merchants who credit card companies, banks, and so forth.
Exactly. So it would be a credit card company, it could be a bank, it could be an insurance company.
Right.
And the idea behind it is that an insurance company may be looking at launching a new product. They may be looking to reach a particular high-value audience. We have very rich first-party data, so we're able to offer exclusive access to an audience segment and then actually run that through our stack and target that audience on the MoneySupermarket site, but also out on third-party sites on the web.
So, obviously running it on your own site as a publisher makes a lot of sense, but then when you start going off-site, maybe does that start changing the dynamic of that relationship slightly in terms of how you're treated as you're not just a supplier anymore, you're more of a partner.
Absolutely.
I don't want to use the word agency.
No. But, I think what our commercial partners understand, because they've been working with us, as some of them as in a publishing capacity, if you like. So they understand the power of our data. And actually, the fact that we really understand the dynamics of the industry, and we're very well placed to be able to actually run these campaigns on behalf of the advertiser. So, what we may see in the future, is actually kind of client data also, going into our data management platform, so we can cook and sync and potentially run that whole campaign
on behalf of them.
Yes, on behalf of a commercial partner. And that's really about value creation, because what we'll say to a commercial partner is, we'll give you access to a data segment which we know is high value. We would ask for potentially an exclusive product for MoneySupermarket customers. So, it's a win-win, because...
It's like the value exchange.
Exactly, absolutely, yeah.
And okay, so, and just trying to, I guess, future goes, beyond acquisition for MoneySupermarket's purposes. Obviously, your web side of things is very acquisition focused, ROI driven. Is there a brand play here as well? I know we talked about prospecting to some degree, but you spend a lot of money on TV. Is there an opportunity for this to be plugging into video channels and mobile and so forth?
That's definitely our ambition. There is always a challenge around attribution, which anyone who attended ATS would probably remember our panel. So we have an attribution management platform. We're looking at understanding the role of display, within the journey. And part of that is definitely a bigger brand investment, because we're really excited by the opportunity in video or mobile. We know that 20% of our of consumers or visitors are coming in on a mobile device.
Already, right?
Yeah, be it a smartphone or tablet. So that's a really important opportunity. I think as we start to build our brand proposition, those new formats and those platforms will be important to us.
And once you've got that nailed, does that then give you another way of engaging this segment of commercial partners to start running? Well, you're effectively becoming an agency partner in personal finance, where you're running acquisition-focused campaigns, but potentially brand campaigns as well.
Yeah, could be. I mean, today it's
pretty cool.
Yeah, our role is really about driving acquisition as efficiently as possible, and because of, I guess, the expertise of our business, and particularly now with our technology stack, we're able to do that very cost efficiently. But the brand piece becomes another opportunity, I guess, in the future. But
definitely.
This is really exciting for us as a business. We've invested both in building the team and the stack. We work with some great partners, and we're really excited about it in 2013.
Well, we'll see you maybe in 6 months and see how that investment's paying off.
Yeah, but, excellent.
Advertiser, publisher, agency, it's pretty exciting, and this is kind of how it's been put together. Well, thanks for coming in, Andy.
You're welcome, Paul.
Thank you for watching this week's Trade Talk.
Thank you.